Good afternoon, everyone. I was given the topic of Sangam, so I thought my career, my life has been a big Sangam. So I thought of sharing that journey with you. Over the years, we have been taught to take one identity, to follow one path, to be known for one subject and specialize in one. But my life has rarely been linear. I have been placed at intersections of culture, intersections of expertise, skills, and industry domain. Initially, I thought it was a confusion, but then later I realized it was actually confluence. In India, we have this concept of Sangam. Sangam where the Ganga, the Yamuna, and the invisible Saraswati meet. And that is a very sacred point. But all these rivers have their own strength, have their own history, and have their own force. But when they meet, they do not compete. They simply merge together and become more powerful. And that is the power of confluence. It becomes the most sacred thing. Today, I will take you through my life's journey and I'll show you how every detour, every diverse experience has groomed me into the person I am today and the leader I am today. I stand here not as a person who has studied in Japan, not as an engineer, not as a creative entrepreneur, and not even as a corporate governance leader. I stand here as a confluence of all these identities. And you will see how my journey has shaped who I am today. My global experience has taught me how I see things. My engineering has taught me how I think. My creative entrepreneurship has guided me how I build. And my governance leadership has taught me how I decide. And this confluence has not only shaped my career, but also my courage, my voice, and my leadership. In the 1980s, very few teenagers had the privilege of doing their schooling abroad, and I was one of them. I went to Japan because of my father's posting, and while I boarded the flight to Japan, I was nervous, curious, and excited. But little did I know that this journey will actually rewire my thinking. I entered a classroom full of students from various nationalities, different thinking, different perspectives. Every classroom debate was more than an academic exercise. It was a masterclass in appreciating different perspectives. That was the first place where I learned the true meaning of diversity. And I realized differences are not contradictions, they can be complements. And Japan actually changed my philosophy. It taught me not only academically, it also changed my philosophy to think. In Japan, I learned ikigai, the purpose for life. I learned kaizen. You know, excellence comes with small changes, regular small precision and patience. But my India taught me that karma, you are known by your action and not your results. And your dharma is your work. In Japan taught me to be disciplined, to go deep, to have patience and precision. And India taught me adaptability and to lead through complexity in life and ambiguity. So today, I did not choose one of these. I became the bridge between both. And this confluence taught me to use both these disciplines in my leadership. Then I came back to India. I decided to pursue engineering. Engineering is analytical. You know, you believe in systems, processes, it's very structured. And I was in the boardrooms where decisions were taken with data, and the strategy was decided by spreadsheets. And then life shifted. My husband, who was also an engineer, decided to start an art and culture enterprise. And I was absolutely lost. Obviously, as an engineer, I could not understand creative landscapes. Because as children, when we were growing up, we were taught that you can either be analytical or creative. You can either be left brain or right brain. And here I was suddenly moving from, looking at quarterly projections to creative expressions. But in that confusion, I realized there is a lot of similarity between art and leadership. They both need vision to see beyond what exists. They both need patience to create something new. They both need mindfulness to be in the moment, because you cannot excel if you have distractions. And they both need resilience, the courage to get up again and go back to the canvas if your masterpiece didn't come out as it was expected to be, or if your strategy has failed. So again, this confluence told me that you need to build the bridge between various expertise that you go through, and it is not that you have to choose one to be an expert. Then, while working in a corporate MNC, I was transferred in the regulatory department. If you're an engineer, you know that that is not a place you want your career to be going. And it was a shock for me too, because you have to go through license agreements, policy documents, and it is quite difficult for an engineer basically. So, but I decided to learn that too. I decided to understand how the public policy framework works in the country. And while I was learning that, I saw a gap only a technocrat could understand. I realized that how the systems were designed and how they were implemented, there is a lot of gap. And I wanted to plug that gap. So I thought of engaging with the stakeholders. I talked to the various government departments, internal and external stakeholders, regulators, and I thought if if technology and law come together and stop working in silos, they can really strengthen policies and come out with very robust policies, adaptive, scalable, and future ready. And finally, because as a technocrat, I could bring to the table something which probably policy experts, economists, and law experts could not see, I got the space at the table, being a woman with a voice. And then, so basically, that's what I want to say, that governance is a convergence of everything that we go through in life. It is a convergence of law, ethics, technology, human nature, human behavior, culture. And so today, when I look back at my career, at my life, I feel that the difference that I had was not a disability, it was my wisdom which helped me grow. And every detour, every diverse experience that I went through in my career was only a preparation for me. But I did not have the vantage point at that time, because today I can see how it has helped me work through my career. Because today the future does not belong to people who are specialized in one field. We need multi-dimensional experts. Climate change is not only science. Corporate governance is not only policy. Uh, Inclusion is again not only policy. Uh, Security is not only technology. We need multidimensional experts to handle these things. And we need people who are experts in being at intersections and making bridge for it. So next time when you feel, are at an intersection, don't jump to find a path. Don't choose. Just stay and think about it. Is another opportunity coming out and showing you the way? And I feel leadership is all about integration, all your experiences, all your detours, and that is what has made me a leader today. Thank you.